I recognize the gentleman from Todd for explanation of bill and a motion thereon.
Mr. Speaker, will you ask the clerk to report House Committee Substitute 1, please?
Clerk, please report.
House Committee Substitute 1 to House Bill 444.
Gentleman from Todd.
Move for adoption.
Motion is for the adoption of House Committee Substitute 1. Is there any discussion of the committee sub? Seeing none, those in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. House Committee Substitute 1 is adopted. Gentleman from Todd.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Bill 444, as amended by House Committee Substitute 1, addresses the annual increment for executive branch, for judicial branch, and for the legislative branch employees. As Mr. Speaker, as you may recall, there were funds set aside in last year's budget bills in order to make sure an increment could be addressed, as well as classification studies as they become complete. Section 1 sub 1 would appropriate $65,351,800 to the executive branch for state employees as an increment of 6% salary, not effective on the anniversary date, but instead on July 1, 2023. It would also, in Section 1, Sub 3, appropriate $1,874,400 to the Legislative Research Commission for a 6% increment for its employees. Section 1, Sub 4 would appropriate $21,594,600 to the judicial branch toward its employee salaries in the following manner: $2,000 increase for elected and unelected positions within the judicial, and then thereafter the same 6% increment. The reasons for these items in this bill are as follows. We have an increment that attempts to, in part, adjust the salary schedules within each branch for things like inflationary pressures and influences year after year. The classification studies would decompact the scales for all the employees, make sure the midpoints and the beginning points not too close to the high points, so that we have a healthy scale internal and competitive with external in the private world. The legislative branch has already completed its classification study, and that has been implemented in the pay scales. The judicial branch has completed the classification study, and although not agreed to in full, that's the purpose of the $2,000 increase and then the increment for the judicial branch in this bill. The executive branch has not completed their classification study, thus we have nothing to implement. Once that's done, money still remains set aside for that to be funded as soon as it's available for consideration. So with that, Mr. Speaker, I would ask for passage of House Bill 444 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1.